back. We were talking first conversation for this evening with a person of Shagari Usman Bashiru, and he is a speaker of Nigerian Youth Parliament. So we'll be talking about some of the SDGs goals as it affects Africa. But first, Bashir, good evening and welcome to the desk.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Good evening, Bashir, and welcome to the desk.
Good evening, Mr. Gordon, and thank you very much for having me here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, Bashir.
Yeah. Thank you
All
very
right.
much for having me here. Good evening.
All right, so Bashir, let's delve into the conversation right away. You have been within you were in the last conference that was held even in Russia, in Azerbaijan, and you've seen some of the developmental goals that has been set out, and Africa was the central point of conversation. But let's take the conversation from there. From when that conversation happened in Azerbaijan to where we are right now, how far have we come in terms of our sustainability developmental goals?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gordon. And I think just like you said, I attended the COP conference of party which was held in Baku, Azerbaijan, and we saw the outcomes that were reached, and we saw the initiatives that were brought in, and we saw how different parties, which are the countries, how they came there and they contributed, and we saw the expectations, and we saw the expectations that were met and the ones that were not met. So we know everything, we know all these issues, and now we have passed the program or the dialogue stage. Now we are the implementation stage is the stage we are in now, which is exactly the stage that will handle the implementation of the issues that were discussed in this program in the previous program. So I can tell you that what I can tell you is that even though we were not able to the conference was not able to meet the high expectations of people, but I can still tell you that there are still reasonable number of outcomes that the conference was able to achieve with the little they were able to get. So, and I am telling you that currently, ever since that program, I have been monitoring the presidency for the conference, which is the government of the Azerbaijan and the general presidency for the program, and how they have been engaging communities and how they have been engaging countries participating in different climate conferences and different climate programs to see how they can actualize the idea, actualize the issues that were brought in the conference of parties. So I can tell you that we are currently seeing a reasonable outcome, and the next one, which is going to happen in Brazil, at the next conference of party, which is going to happen in Brazil this November, that's where we are going to see exactly the number of progress the previous conference had, and the way forward, and how we can move forward, and how we can actualize the. But for now, I can tell you that we are on track, and I can tell you that there are various ways that we are achieving what is going on. And currently, there's a conference that's taking place at the United Nations, which is called the ECOSOC conference, the Economic and Social Council conference, Youth Conference, which is set up by the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. The major aim of this conference is to bring the youth together in terms of decision making, to make sure that the youth voices are heard, to make sure that the youth contribute to policy making and to policy implementation. So I think that episode youth forum is also a part of this climate talks, and it will also help the youth, which are the future of tomorrow, the leaders of tomorrow. It will help them in having say in the policies and the areas of implementation of these goals, both the sustainable development goals and the climate mitigation at large. Thank you.
This sustainability developmental goal even in Nigeria. A lot of concerns have been raised. The first is that these sustainability developmental goals, be it 1, 2, 3, or 4, are still not find its basics in Nigeria. But then, if we look at this and tie it back to African country, can we say these goals are achievable within the African space?
Mr. Godwin, like I said before, me, I'm a person that always believe in the impossible, and I believe that whatever happens, if we can put our mind there and if we can stick to the blueprint, I believe that we can easily actualize it. And when we are talking about all these schools, like I said before, we the youth, we are the major beneficiaries of this school. And when we are talking about the youth population, Africa have the largest growing youth population in the world. So I believe that we have a large amount of large number of areas that we can help in this implementation of the sustainable goals. And I believe that Africa is the future of the world, and I believe that Africa will will add more values to the goals if we can help in the implementation. So I believe that we can achieve it. We still have almost which is almost 5 years to achieve these goals. It doesn't mean that by 2030 we must achieve every goals. No, but what we want to see is that by 2030 we can see a reasonable outcome in each of the 17 goals. We can raise our hand and say that goal number one we have achieved this, goal number two we have achieved this, goal number three we have achieved this. So that's what we want to see, and that's what I believe that with the current state that we are seeing, with the current growing population of young Africans, I believe that more people are getting knowledge about this initiative, and more people are being interested in participating in this initiative. And I believe that we are starting with youth, we are starting to know the dangers of these goals, the dangers of not participating in this implementation of these goals, and where we are trying to see how we can help in this implementation as the beneficiaries of this goal. So I believe that these goals we can achieve a reasonable outcome by 2030, and I have a high hope that with the growing population and growing population of the Nigerian youth and the African youth at large, I believe that we have an advantage there, and I believe that we can achieve this number. So if you look at the climate issue now, for example, many people now are becoming self-aware of the impact of the climate. We don't need to go to people and tell them that this is the issues that we are facing. We can see all the growing sea level, the temperature rising, and we know these things. We can see flood. We know the impact. So it is our duty as young people to see that we help mitigate this. Without a better world for us to live, then there's no future for the youth. There's no future for the young population. So that we are now becoming more cautious of all these things. We are becoming more cautious of all these issues. So and now it is our civil responsibility to see that we help in these mitigations of this kind of climate issues and other issues. So I believe that the way we are now becoming cautious of all these kind of issues, it gives us advantage, and it gives the people advantage that we will contribute, and by our contribution it will help in this achieving these sustainable development goals by 2025 2030, inshallah.
Particular question in the light of this, in order to ask this particular question, when we look at the various sustainability developmental goals that we have even in the country, the way the implementation of this goal is, it tends to be on a reverse model, in the sense that the sustainability developmental goal is supposed to be championed from the grassroots, then it now scale up to the top, which is the urban community, from the rural community to the urban community, because largely people from the rural community are supposed to be the first beneficiaries of this goal. But what we tend to see, even in terms of the sustainability developmental goals, they have become goals that are being pursued from the urban, and hereby leaving the rural community in almost a state of quagmire. With these irregular implementation models, are you sure that we are on the right track in implementing the sustainability developmental goals, and can we still achieve this even looking way above year 2030? Because 2030 doesn't look like what is visible. Can we achieve these goals even way above 2030?
Yeah, Mr. Godwin, like I told you before, we're not talking about achieving this whole 17 goals by 2030. Yeah, of course, we want to achieve it if it is possible. Yeah, but what we are saying is that we should try and achieve a reasonable outcome by 2030. Just like I said, we want to see a situation where we can point our hand and say that we have achieved social level in this area, social level in this area. So that's number one. Number two, we are talking about the areas of implementation is more of urban, not for the ruler. That's why we are pushing for what we call state climate policies. We notice that we have a climate policy in Nigeria, but we have a climate policy in Nigeria which is for Nigeria at large. So we notice that this policy, being it for Nigeria at large, will not be able to reach people at the rural level. So what we are emphasizing on, what we are calling on now, is to call on the state government to see that each state government can be able to come up with their climate policy at their state that will reach people at the grassroots level. So we have few states in Nigeria that have these climate policies. I don't have to mention them, but we have some states that we have done our research. We have the climate policies, even at the conference of the party in Azerbaijan. Some states went there to present their climate policies. So we are calling on other states, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, where there's vast population there. We are calling on them to come up with their climate policies to see how they can use that climate policies as blueprint in the areas of implementing the climate mitigations and in areas of implementing other sustainable development goals. So we want them to come up with the policies not only for climate change, for these sustainable development goals. I think almost all states, they have what they call SA on sustainable development goals. So I believe if the governors in their various states can be able to work hand in hand with this essays on SDGs and climate change, I believe that they can create an avenue where they will be able to reach people at grassroots level, at local government level, at even world level, to enlighten them about these goals and to enlighten them about the impact the process on our life and how they can help in the implementation. Like I told you, these goals is not they are not one man thing. There are 17 goals that should be implemented by every one of us, not only by the government or by the business people or by the urban people. No, there are goals that should be implemented by all people. As long as we are alive, these goals matters to you and you should help in the implementation of this goal. So what we are calling is that we are calling on state to come up with these policies that they will use and work with people at the all rural level to see that these goals reach them and to see that they also help in the implementation. For example, in terms of waste management, all this waste management and all this flood that we are having, most of them are from the rural communities. So if we can show them the impact of this and we can show them how they can help in the mitigation, let the government go and enlighten them and show them how they can help in these areas. So I believe there are many foundations, even our organization, we are working to see how we can reach people at the grassroots level, even at primary school level, to see that we reach. But us alone, we cannot do it alone without the government. We need the government to start something. We need the government to push us for us to be able to reach people at the grassroots level. If the state government can do this, the state government are more closer to the people. If they can do it, I believe that it's something that will help us as NGOs and will help other philanthropists that will be able to work with the rural communities and enlighten them more in terms of the implementation. So there's need for to see the broader picture. There's need for these goals to go at the grassroots level. There's need for the rural communities to be seeing the impact, not only the urban communities. We need that, and I believe that the easiest way we can do that is by the state government taking this seriously and coming up with policies that will go to the people directly. Thank you.
Get you correctly, you are saying that the various tiers of government are not doing enough in order to support the drive of the SDG growth and implementation in Nigeria. Is that what you're saying, Bashir?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying, just like we say, what I'm saying is that we need to do more. Some states are doing well, while some states are not doing well. So what I'm saying, we are calling on other states to do more. You cannot say that someone is not doing anything, because at least even if them having SDGs or climate change, that makes them automatically to be doing something. But what we are saying is that you shouldn't just have someone there when he's not doing anything. You should make it a priority, your priority, personal priority, to see that you work on it, to see that you provide the necessary equipment, to provide the necessary support for this initiative to function, and for the offices to work. So what we are calling is that we are just calling on the state government, particularly the state government, not the federal government, the state government, to work seriously and to work tirelessly in these areas, and to see that they liaise with various departments or the ministries they have in their state, to see that they make this a priority at their respective states. So we are just calling for them to wake up and to do more to what they are already doing.
All right, so Bashir, is there no possibility that individual organizations, CSOs, NGOs that are even traveled down to observe some of this implementation of the SDGs goals, is it not possible that some of these NGOs are the ones frustrating the implementation process and delaying the implementation of the SDG goals even in Africa?
Mr. Godwin, I cannot comment on that. I cannot say that these people are the ones delaying it. But what I believe is that every NGO have their own mandate and have their own objectives. These NGOs, they are there, most of them, to support in the implementation, because most of them, they have connection with the international organizations. So they cannot just go there and be talking figures and be talking lies. No, they must do something on ground for the people at the grassroots level before they can go to the international organization and show them that this is what we do before they can get support. So I cannot say that the NGOs, they are sabotaging. What you are saying is that the NGOs, they are sabotaging the effort of this implementation. No, anyone who can commit his time, his resources, to see that they go to the rural communities to enlighten them and bring data to the international communities, you cannot call those people as sabotagers. No. So even if some of the NGOs are sabotaging this effort, I personally, I don't believe in that, and I don't think that there are many NGOs that are sabotaging this effort, because just like I said, every NGO have their objective, and every one of them want to make an impact that they can present to the world level. So some of them might be, while some of them might not be, but I have it in good faith that I believe that most of the NGOs, they are even trying more than the government, because I believe that some of the NGOs, if you go to the grassroots level, you will see them have presence at the grassroots level, not even where even the government don't have presence. So they are doing this to take the credit and take it to the international community to show what they are doing. So we cannot call that sabotage. All we can call that is that they are playing their own part. But what I said is that some of these NGOs will not have that capacity to go to international communities. Some of them, their capacity is only at state or at the federal level, for example. So that's why we want the government to start creating a blueprint where both the NGOs and the government agencies can use to follow that blueprint in terms of this implementation. If a state take this SDG more seriously, I'm telling you that state is going to have more NGOs that will be able to help that state in the implementation than the state that's not taking this SDGs more seriously. So all we are calling is that as leaders, as the policy makers, the government, they should just take it seriously, and NGOs and other partners will come and help them in the implementation. If there's any sabotage, that one I cannot comment on that, and I know that if there's any sabotage, the government maybe will be able to use their resources to navigate the sabotage and to see that they flush any sabotage or anything. So I believe that the NGOs, they are really doing well, and I believe that with the guidelines and monitoring of the government, the NGOs can even do better and achieve more sustainable results.
I let you go even on this segment talking about the SDG goals and assessing the impact on Africa. Someone said that the SDGs, in terms of since the goals were created and try to measure the growth in terms of its implementation in Africa, that is as if we've not moved an inch in terms of our implementational strive. How correct is this in terms of assessing the implementation? Have we moved an inch so far, Bashiru?
Yeah, I can say that we have moved even further than an inch. So we have done that, and I'm telling you that the way we are seeing the implementation now, you cannot compare it to 10 years ago or to 5 years ago. So the people are now more cautious. You can see programs about these SDGs. You can see You can see government participating. You can see various, especially the federal government. We can see all of them doing participating well in terms of enlightenment and in terms of the areas of implementation. So I can say that we have moved a lot. We have moved. There are various international communities. For example, the UNDP now, if you can follow their activities in Nigeria, UNDP Nigeria, you will know that we have moved further than an inch in terms of the implementation, because they are doing well. They are going to communities, engaging the state government, engaging the federal government, engaging even rural communities. So I'm telling you that we have achieved a reasonable amount of success in terms of the implementation. But all we have to do is that we have a limited time, which is just 5 years to this, less than 6 years to this. So I believe that we should put more effort to the implement. Whatever we are doing with the little time we have, we should put more effort to do more. So I believe that we are achieving a reasonable amount, and we are doing well. Both the government and the non-government parties, we can see that they are trying, but we just need to do more and put more effort. And also, there is a need for strong partnership. Whatever we are doing, we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it as an individual. We have to partner with various organizations, various individuals, and we have to start it right from home. I always call on people that change begins with me. We have to do it right from ourselves, from the way we use plastics, from the way we recycle things, from the way we do a lot of things. So we have to start it from ourselves. We have to be cautious of it. We have to be cautious of our environment, to see how we can protect our mother earth, and to see how we can achieve these goals, and also to see how we can benefit as individuals and as youth. So I can see that I can say that we are seeing progress gradually.
At this point, I want to say thank you so much, Bashiru, for finding out time to be with us even on the desk today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gordon, for having me here.
All right,
Thank you. And
that's for the first segment of the show. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll still talk more even on the desk. Please stay with us as the show continues in a moment.